Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and to this group video review of these Transformers Generations Legends class figures, which I have been waiting literally for years to get together and figuratively for what seems like forever to finally get these Insecticons together. So what we have here is from a range of years, from all the way back in 2014 when Shrapnel, but I will call him Shrapnel as many fans will do. You know, Shrapnel first came out in the Generations line, Legends class figure. And then 2 years later, when Combiner Wars came out in 2016, we got a Bombshell. And I'm very glad they named him Bombshell and not Hard Shell or Bomb Shock or some other copyright, infringing type of issue. Bombshell, he was called, Legends figure in Combiner Wars. And that was good, but at that time I was still not sure whether they were going to complete it. But of course they were going to, and as soon as they announced that, 2017, beginning of 2017 or end of 16, Kickback was going to be released, I immediately picked him up from the shelves, got him back. I guess paid a little bit of premium to get him because I didn't find a second-hand figure on forums, so I got him on eBay, and then waited until this guy finally came out. I picked him up today, and I'm very excited to finally see these guys together, and they just look so good. The colors are so coherent, even though they're years apart in production. They really went for a coherent look in the Insecticons. Okay, so what we have here, of course, is what I call Shrapnel. Unfortunately, my figure has a little bit of a looseness issue with that antenna, but otherwise it's fine. Reflector, I really don't care much about. It's not reflector to me. It's a single guy who turns into a gun. I guess it's not a bad looking gun, and it's got some callback to the G1 weapon that Shrapnel has, but it's not quite the right color, and I think it's fairly forgettable, so I'm going to just put him aside. Shrapnel looking very good in his bug mode. Not much, well, not any articulation, I should say. There's nothing. These legs aren't designed to move. These antennae aren't designed to move, so there's nothing much you can do with him. Bombshell, on the other hand, is a whole different story. He has a lot of articulation in bug mode. I don't know whether you're meant to, but he's got a bit of rotation. I guess you're meant to fix the arms together, so I guess you could argue that torso isn't meant to rotate, but you could actually rotate that. And each of these legs can go slightly up and down. They have individual movement. I guess you could argue that you're supposed to press them all down on the ground, so in a sense they're not designed to lift off, but you can actually move each of the 6 legs independently. That rhinoceros beetle horn moves independently, and then these I guess this signature, I don't know what you call them, cerebro shell launchers maybe. They're there, or he technically launches it from the tip, doesn't he? So that's Bombshell in the insect mode. And then Kickback, again, the front legs aren't designed to articulate, but he's got his signature long, huge, articulated grasshopper legs that you can, bend around to kick, and then the wings to articulate in various positions. I've put a headmaster, Titan Master on there because that's designed for a sit, but I don't care that much for the gimmick. What other Titan Master to put it except Dark of the Moon. Dark Moon. I'm just kidding. There's probably a better looking one, like a one that has yellow, black, and purple. But this has yellow and purple, so it's not a bad match for the Decepticons. The Astro Train's Titan Master. Put him aside. Don't care too much about that. I'm going to close that cockpit, and if I'm going to display this guy, I'd much rather do it like this. You know, so there we have the Insecticons in their insect modes. Going to go through their transformation. You know, I guess before that, which one's the best one? I think clearly he's got, I guess, most articulation technically with all the legs, but I think I like Kickback the most. You know, he's just got, I guess, more style, more panache. I don't know. It's very, very personal. You know, this guy looks fine, but he just doesn't move much. You know, so I think I'm going to say Kickback's my favorite. He does have the advantage of being the newest one. Okay, so going back to Shrapnel, transformation. So what you want to do is unpeg his arms. Okay, and then swing it right out to where he would have it in robot mode. And you can already see his arms there. Spread the antennae out to where he would have it. And then with the legs, what you want to do is to kind of unpeg that middle bit down and then separate them. And then these panels fold to the side. And then you fold his, so you get that folded all the way to the side, and then you fold his feet upwards. Right, and then what you do is flip the legs down into their proper position and then clip the crotch piece, the waist piece into position there. And then with the legs you want to unpeg them or just flip them back. There's a bit of a clip into place, but you just flip them backwards out of the way. And that's his lower body. And the upper body has a hinge here where you flip that double hinge down into the torso position for the robot. And there we have it. No, nice and simple Legends, appropriate Legends style transformation into, you know, what is a, you know, pretty reminiscent G1 Shrapnel robot figure. I think there's a bit of lack of paint apps here. They could have done with some paint apps at the front of the shins there, but otherwise not too bad. Maybe that Decepticon symbol can be larger. I think it would fill in that chest area a bit more. But you know, all in all, very recognizable as Shrapnel, I think. Articulation wise, you know, you got the shoulder ball, you got the elbow ball, you got the hip ball, and you got the knee. Actually, it's a ball, a knee ball as well. So balls all over, you know, full of balls. This guy. So 1, 2, 3. You know, I guess 2 shoulders, 2 elbows, 2 hips, 2 knees is what his articulation is. The head does rotate. Doesn't really go up and down. It kind of rotates in place there. All right, so there we go. Shrapnel. Stand him up properly. Right, Bombshell. Bombshell's nice and easy actually. So what you want to do is just get his arm out of the position there. Get his arms out. Flip it out to the side, and then this you've got lots of options for this. I prefer it to kind of sit on the side like that, and then that's his arms transformed. And the legs are again quite easy. You just kind of flip it out, separate them there, just kind of a slide in, slide aside, and then fold the insect legs back into the back, and that's kind of his legs done. And these ones you kind of position just straight out, I think. Rotate his waist, and yes, he's got a nice waist joint, and do the head reveal. And there we have Bombshell all ready to go. This guy doesn't actually come with any other accessories, no weapons, no other gimmicks. You know, he's got I guess a weapon partner. He's got the Titan gimmick. This guy is by himself, but you know, he's a nice little Bombshell figure. Now, Bombshell, I'm not sure whether their head rotate. I can't get in there to rotate it myself, but I don't really mind if it doesn't. He's got ball for shoulder. He's got ball for elbow. And that those legs rotate into whatever position you want them to take along the axis. Ball for knee, and a hinge. Sorry, ball for hip and hinge for knee. And don't forget, he also has a waist. Okay, so that's the nice looking, again, really cool reminiscence of G1 there. Alright, Kickback. Kickback, my favorite insect mode. Now, what you want to do with Kickback is firstly, I like to fold his legs down and then get the wings into kind of the robot position at the back, like that, or whatever, however you want it, but I don't mind it like that. You can put it down. For the legs, what you want to do is just to fold, that's the insect mode, and then you just fold it up like that, and the feet falls into front, and that just sits at the back. Do the same with the other side, just like that, and then you're revealing a bit of detail on the lower shin there, which is quite, nice little touch. And then what you do is you separate the arms out and then fold this up, and there's a nice little action going on here. As you fold up, it moves forward along the body, and then you peg it into the upper body here. Fold that down, and then that's the fist there, as you can see. Same on the other side, peg into the upper body, fold that down into the arm position, and there you got the fist there visible. And then for the head reveal, you fold the grasshopper head to the back and rotate the head around to the front. And there we have Kickback in his cool looking, G1-esque robot mode. What does Kickback do? You've seen already, articulation wise, his head turns. He's got a ball for the shoulder. He's got a ball for the elbows. No waist, but he's got a ball for the hip, and he's got a ball knee joint as well that you can rotate sideways. But ostensibly you can kind of lock it straight. In the robot mode, I think you can choose to lock it straight, which is what the transform insect mode does, or you can bend it slightly to keep that knee supple. There's no ankle as such. I mean, that's a transformation joint, so that's not counted. Okay, so that's Kickback, and let's just get him standing straight, actually, I should say, and next to his compadres here, and there we have again a very cohesive looking good group. I would have preferred that, again, that symbol to be bigger, that symbol to be bigger, but they're not bad at all. All right, so what else do we have here? Can we say, Shrapnel? How do I think of Shrapnel? He's a slightly mad, eccentric leader of the Insecticons, master of electricity, and he's got that funny speech impediment, isn't he? He's consistently the electricity generator. He's got the that pattern of speech where he has to repeat the last word of every sentence, and that was carried on to several iterations, including War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron, which is kind of fun to see. So that's Kickback for you. Bombshell's the kind of like the genius plotter, I suppose. He's got those cerebro shells which he uses to manipulate enemies, and that again has been carried on over to most recently IDW. Which I was quite happy to see. Is something of a coward, I suppose. He hides behind his drones, doesn't like the front line, but he's at least he's got some characterization. Unlike Kickback. Kickback doesn't have much characterization in G1, I think, but more recently, I guess people have described him as a bit of a manipulator. He finds the weaknesses in people, gets them to blackmails people to get them to do things for him. So it gets his kickbacks, where his name comes from. I think a bit of a retcon. So there we have it. The Insecticons really enjoy this cohesiveness. Hope that's been an enjoyable look. And as always, give us a like and subscribe if you want to enjoy and you like my videos, to keep in touch. And I will again see you guys next time.